Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to day 3 of our cassava swallow making process. We began the drying process at home already by pouring those fermented cassavas into those sack bags. But that will not completely do the magic for us, so we decided to bring it to the jackie. This is a manual jack. It is used to dry water from cassava, whether it's gari or whether it's pupuru or yaga you want to do. This manual jack is used to dry water from the cassava, because if the water does not dry, they can't fry it as gari. For any reason, it will not come out well. Usually, after pouring the fermented cassava or the grounded cassava, depending on your end product, what you intend to make, if it is gari, you have to grind the cassava after peeling. Then you pour it into the sack bags just like this. Because we didn't want to make gari and we wanted to reduce the starch in the cassava, we had to ferment it for some days and then go through the process of filtering it. Instead of grinding like we should have done if we wanted to make gari, we decided to filter, and it came through a different process. But irrespective of the process that I went through in order to get to this point, I cannot skip using the jackie or using the jack to dry the cassava. This particular jack is built to take at least 5 bags of cassava just like this, but you have to make sure that it is properly covered. You see the way they try to fit it in correctly. They try to do mathematics to make sure that it is balanced, so that it doesn't fall off, so that some part doesn't dry and other parts are not dried. They also do it like that so that if your sack bag gets torn at this moment, this is a critical moment for the cassavas. Now you see it, they've put wood on top and they have put another very heavy iron. That iron you are seeing is heavy, as heavy as, in fact heavier than that wood that is on top of the sack. Once it gets to this point, your prayer point should just be that none of your sack gets torn, because as they start jacking it like this, if any sack gets torn, once they hear pra or they hear tia, they will lose everything and bring out all the sack one by one to check for the sack that is torn, because the cassava in that particular torn sack will not get dried. So this jackie point is a very, very critical point. As you see it, water is draining like rain from the cassava already. The irons are heavy. The wood at the bottom and the wood on top is not your regular wood. Everything you see there has extra weight, because it's not very easy to jack. In order for the jack to keep going smoothly, because this gari will keep going down and they will keep jacking it until it dries completely, they have to use engine oil to rub the 2 stands of the iron. When the cassava is dry, the next stage is to fry. This frying stage, we didn't even come on time. By the time we got there, the mama that helped us to jack it has already started helping us fry. She fried for us because according to her, so many people had fried their gari and they've even taken it to the market before we came. So she didn't want the fire to waste. Besides, we paid 3,500 for wood the previous day. So mama just decided to do the work for us anyway, and for that we are very grateful. She saved us a lot of stress as well. You see that big pot they are using for frying? There's no way that we will have that kind of pot in our house, except we are into gari frying business. This pot is specially made just for frying gari and the likes. You see how smoke is coming out of this thing? That's to tell you that it's just coming out from the fire. Sure, you see how big that pot is? This is a special kind of sieve. It's used to sieve the cassava before and after frying. Finally, this is the pupuru. But the pupuru was looking like gari, so I was told here that we have to grind it. I'm like, that one joined. I didn't know we were going to grind it, but I followed them to the engine anyway. On getting there, I realized that they were grinding popo. They call it popo. This popo is those lumps that come out from gari while you are frying or before frying. That's the reason why they use that sieve I showed you earlier, to sieve the gari before and after frying. So you see, gari work is a lot really if you look at it. Like I said, I don't know why it's cheap in the market, but let me not say that out loud. So by the time we got to the engine, they said they will use 10,000 naira to grind the whole bowl of the pupuru that we made. And we're like, why would they use 10,000 naira to grind it? What is so special about pupuru that they will use 10,000 to grind it? The woman now told us that she has to grind it over and over and over to get the kind of consistency that we are looking for. That consistency that brings it to the point where it begins to look like semovita. At that point, I was tired of everything, because how will I pay 10,000 to come and grind something that I've been doing for like how many days now, just because I want it to be smooth? Will I not just go and eat it like that? Eventually we agreed to pay her 8,000 naira. Momsi was very angry with us for paying 8,000 naira after all the rigor that we went through just to produce pupuru. We still had to pay 8k to grind it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something.